All right, so today in this video, we're going to talk about constructions. Our first construction is the congruent segment. In order to draw a congruent segment, we first have to draw a new ray. So I'm going to draw a ray, and I'm going to make sure that ray is definitely longer than the line that I am given originally, which is here on the left. And now I'm going to take my compass, and I'm going to put my pointer on to point A, and I'm going to stretch my compass out um, all the way to point B. Have to rotate mine a little bit more to get it there. And I'm going to make a mark. Oops, see, I didn't make it. So let me stretch it out a little bit further to B, and I'm going to make a mark there. Okay, and now I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to move it to my new point on my new line, and I'm going to make an arc mark. And now I have officially constructed a new line segment. All I have to do is label my points. So I'm going to label this point C, and over here where they intersected, I'm going to label that point D. Okay, and there we have a new congruent line segment. Next, we're going to talk about a congruent angle. For a congruent angle, we also need to have a congruent ray. So I'm going to draw myself another line that's clearly longer than the line from B to C. And I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put it on point B. And I'm going to stretch my compass out a little bit further than halfway. And I'm going to make an arc mark that touches both lines AB and ray BC. And then without changing my compass, I'm going to move my compass to point E over here. That's what I'm going to label this point, point E. Okay, and I'm going to draw the exact same arc mark, but I'm going to make sure it stretches up past my point E so I know that it's long enough. And now I'm going to move my compass back over to my original angle. I'm going to draw points right where my intersection occurred with my arc and my lines. And I'm going to put my point of my compass on one of those endpoints. And I'm going to drag my compass. I'm going to bring mine back. So I'm going to get my compass to measure the distance between my points. So I'm going to turn and rotate it till I can get it crossing my new point, which is a little short there. So I need to make it a little longer. Nope. And make my arc mark that goes through. Now your compass will be better than my computer programmed compass, and you can directly measure the space between the two angles a little bit easier than I can on the computer. So just ignore these two lines. I'll delete them because I don't need those. I just need the one that goes through the center point there. So see how it goes through, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it to the intersection over here, and I'm going to make an arc mark there. Then with my ray tool, or for you a ruler and a pencil, I'm going to connect E to the intersection that I created. And now I have created a congruent angle. Okay, it's just a few marks. Again, most times they don't ask you to fully construct them. They ask you to just identify them. So understanding the markings is what we're looking for. All right, an angle bisector. Remember the word bisect means to cut in half. So we're actually going to do the same process that we did for that angle. We're going to take that compass, put it on point B, extend it out a little more than halfway, and we're going to make an arc that touches both the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to extend my compass a little more than what I just had it, and I'm going to move it to the intersection points that I just created, and I'm going to make an arc out here in front of the circle, or in front of the angle. And then I'm going to move it to the next intersection point, and I'm going to put another arc mark. Again, I have not changed the compass. Notice that they intersect. So now I'm going to draw my ray from point B out to that intersection point that we just created. And now we have cut it in half. Notice that with the angle bisector, we do not have another angle drawn anywhere. It's directly on the original angle given to us. Okay, next we have a perpendicular bisector. So we're going to take our compass and we're going to put it on point A. Please realize that perpendicular bisector means we are making a right angle and we're cutting the line in half. So it is doing both of those things. So we're going to put it on point A. I'm going to scroll down here on my screen a bit so we can see. We're going to extend the compass over halfway. And then we're going to make a half moon shape, almost like that half circle. Without changing the compass, we're going to move it to B, and we're going to make another half circle, making sure it's intersecting the points, the arc we originally made. Notice this kind of makes a fish figure. It's my favorite one to make. I enjoy it. And you're going to take your line or your ruler and connect the intersection points. And now we have created a perpendicular bisector, though my line was not straight, so I'm going to redo that. I'm going to connect the 2 points. And now we've created a perpendicular bisector. Okay, now we have perpendicular to a point on the line. So we're going to take our compass and we're going to put it on point C. And we're going to open our compass a little more than halfway between C and B. And we're going to draw an arc that touches the line in 2 spots. Then we're going to take our compass and we're going to open it just a little bit wider than we had it before. And we're going to put our point on our intersection point, and we're going to draw an arc above point C. Then we are going to move it to the other intersection point and do exactly the same thing. Notice that they do cross there. I should have made my arc just a little bit bigger on that side, so let me go do that. Make that arc just a little bigger. Okay, notice that there is an intersection there. Okay, we're going to then take our straight edge and draw a line between that intersection and point C. And now we've created a perpendicular bisector, or a perpendicular to a point on the line. This is not a bisector because we did not cut the whole line in half. Okay. Perpendicular to a point not on the line. So there's our point. It's not on the line. There's our line. Let me extend my page a little bit here. We're going to take our compass and we're going to put it on point P. And we're going to extend our compass so that it will touch that line there at the bottom when we make a swoop. I'm going to make it kind of big here. And then I'm going to draw a line that intersects the line at the bottom. So I've created this arc. Notice it touches twice. It touches here and it touches here. Then I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to open it wider than I just had it. And I'm going to stick it on my intersection point. And I'm going to draw an arc. Then I'm going to move it to my second intersection point, and I'm going to draw an arc. Then with my straight edge, I'm going to connect point P to my intersection point at the bottom. And now I've created, I missed my point down there, a perpendicular to a point not on the line. Now the difference with the point on the line and the point off the line is the location of point P. So notice that point P here is only on this vertical line here. Now if we go back to point on the line, it's on the vertical line and it's on the horizontal line. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. Other than that, the both are pretty much the same construction. Lastly, we have parallel lines. This is the most difficult construction. Okay, the first thing you always have to do is draw a transversal line. So I'm going to draw a transversal line that goes through both the given line and point P. I'm going to extend this line kind of far. Then I'm going to take my compass, just like I would if I was creating a congruent angle, and I'm going to move my compass to my vertex point down here. And I'm going to extend my compass out, and I'm going to make myself an arc mark that touches both my transversal line and my given line. Then I'm going to move it to point P, and I'm going to make sure that it touches the transversal line and goes below point P. Now, just like the congruent angle, I'm going to measure the distance between my transversal line here and my angle down here. So again, your compass will allow you to measure this more accurately than mine will, because mine struggles with the whole turning and opening thing. So I'm going to take a few guesses before I get it right. Let's see. Oh, nope, that one got it. All right, so I create a mark and it intersects there. And I'm going to bring it back up here. And I'm going to make the same mark through here. Then I will take my line and I will draw a line through my intersection point to point P and out and across. And now I have created two parallel lines. Those angles that we just created were corresponding angles. So when we're creating parallel lines, we're looking for those corresponding angles. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask me in class or in your free time.